Hello, everyone, and welcome to the secret history living inside of my aquarium this evening. Now, tonight is a little bit unusual. This is sort of my display tank, the tank that everyone sees when they come in. And it's not a huge tank, it's only 17.5 gallons, but it does command a pretty good area in the house. It's about as wide, the table is about as wide as the stairs leading up to the main part of our house. So this tank, the last 6 months, has been dubbed the pink tank, and I think you can see why. For a while, it was dubbed the red tank, and now it's gone beyond that, and it's the pink tank. A lot of the plants are growing up out high enough. Of course, you can see every flaw with the super bright twin star I have on there. But a lot of the plants are growing so they could be immersed, and they will exit the water very soon if something doesn't change with the way I'm trimming and things. Now, I do want to say that I have this tank ready in mind for Panda Loaches. So they're a hill stream species. I'm going to have to trim a lot of this. There's actually a great rock and wood scaffold under this that is the hardscape. And they're coming in. I'm getting 24 of them from Aquatic Arts. And so I'm really hoping to kind of move some of these other fish. So I figured tonight would be one of the last nights you're going to see this tank this way, because after that it goes to trying to breed a rare and fairly expensive, fairly hard to find, and only found in 3 different rivers species. So we'll talk about Panda Loaches later, but for now, I have been asked so many questions about this tank, so I figure let's jump right in. I will try to put things in the description that can help you guys out. For instance, maybe some of the fish species, some of the places where I got this stuff. This tank has been set up for well over a year. Sorry about that. It's a low iron rimless tank. It is 17.5 gallons. It has a twin star EA light on it, and it's at 100%, which you can see it blasts this pastel, very nice. I wouldn't call it warm. I wouldn't call it cool. It's kind of right in the middle, which is nice for a display light. It brings out a lot of the best of both tones. It doesn't bring out the blue as much on this jadeite that I have in here. So I would say that it doesn't bring out the best blues always, but if you look at the shrimp, they look like little reflective plastic beacons or little blown glass beacons of blue. Those little shrimp are from Lucas Bretts at LRB Aquatics. I don't have any discount codes for you guys on that one, but for Aquatic Arts, they are the #1 supporter of this tank, of the channel, and they have. Here's what I'll be getting more of, by the way, these Panda Loaches. And they have a great deal set up. You get 15% off if you use my code. It's in the description. And you can come back, use that code as many times as you want for 10% off. And that is Secret History, all in caps. And then the number 15. That'll get you 15% off. The other cool thing that I want to remind people of before we jump in and talk about this aquarium and all these species names that everyone's always asking, oh, what's that in the corner? Oh, what is that? And some of this stuff is really rare, and you probably just haven't seen it or even heard of it. But before we get there, I just wanted to remind you guys that we're going to do a sort of Christmas in July type thing. And for everybody who's used those codes on Aquatic Arts websites, 8% of what you spent goes back into what's called an affiliate link. That affiliate link will then also it'll build up and go towards the prizes. And so last time we were able to do an additional few $100s in prizes, and this time it's been saving up since December. So you can encourage your friends and other fish keepers to use those codes, get the discount. The shipping is all overnight now. And that makes it so that you might want to save up before you buy. You might want to get, you know, 80, 100, $120 worth of stuff. But I mean, their prices are insane. So really good prices, really good quality fish, and of course they have a great customer service and guarantee of live arrival. So let's jump in. You guys have probably been able to see what critters are in this tank, but just in case you haven't, I have another video on that, and you can check that out in my previous videos, including some of the rare rasboras and creatures that live on the Burma slash now called Myanmar border. All right, let's hop in finally, guys. Sorry that long-winded part happened. The other great place that I've gotten some of these really beautiful plants. So for instance, this is a Hedorei crypt, and it's a metallic red Hedorei crypt. It has purple, red. It looks like old school licorice candy if you look at it in just the right light. And it's just really cool. And then on the other side, you get kind of this crinkled ribbon effect with striping and stuff. And that is that's from Lucas Bretz, who also is who bred these world champion blue dream shrimp that I have the colony of. And then finally, some of these things like the purple flame, a night sword, that echinodorus a flame, or the Kleiner Prinz sword that's right behind it. Those are going to be purplish red plants, and I got those as well as some of these other hard to find plants. I'm pointing at a red tiger lily right now, which is not hard to find, but this is how red and bright pink, purple, and orange they can be when you really blast them with light. But things like that that are harder to find, you know, the Rotala, some of the hard Rotalas to find, such as the Vietnam, the Indica, the Nunjenshan, the Hra, the Yao Yao, which has the bigger leaves, and it almost has like a beautiful peaches and just different, let's see if, well, too much turbulence there, but peaches in different colors when you zoom in on that. That all came from Han Aquatics, and if you want to shop there, capital H, all lowercase, history, so first letter's capital, the rest are lowercase, history, and then the number 10. That'll get you 10% off. So there's all the stuff you need to know about where to find this stuff. It'll be in the description. So hopefully you guys, anything you want here will be at either Aquatic Arts, Hans Aquatics, or Lucas Brett's LRB Aquatics. And so you don't need to message me and ask, where did you get them? Because those are three great sources that have really helped me track down stuff that I couldn't find elsewhere. As well as the AGA recent conference, which if I got it there, you're just out of luck. I'm sorry, guys. Some of the few $100 plants and stuff like that you just won't see. But let's keep going. So I rattled off a lot of what's going on back here. A good third of the tank is Rotala. That's Rotala Hra, Rotala. Most of it is Rotala Indica. Some of it is Rotala Vietnam. That's a softer lavender color that doesn't show up in this video well. And then a lot of it is also Sunset Vietnam or Thai. Rosenvig is another strain, and then people come up with a lot of names, but it's rare that you get the right name, because people in Singapore have one name and people somewhere else have another name, and so we've got Florida, Rotala Florida, growing secretly right in here, and of course the fish are eating it, as they always do. They always eat on the Florida, which is, I think, one of the most beautiful rotalas there is. There's some more back in here. And it's just really hard to spot on these rotalas. They're, for the most part, they all look like this, and they have just different colors, different spacing of needles, different amounts of needles, but it changes so much with light that I just wanted to let you guys know that you're not going to get these effects if you have a low-tech tank. So I should say before we continue that I use ADA Brighty K and ADA Mineral, which gives you your macro and micro minerals and nutrients, vitamins, and it doesn't have any of the major amounts of iron, carbon, or nitrogen in it. So I add that myself accordingly. I give a pump of each of those into the tank once a day. I have this light on about 8 hours a day, sometimes 6, with ambient light in the room just going on. And then we have a CO2 down here where it's all dark, and the CO2 is going at a bubble a second or every 2 seconds to give you the rundown. All right, guys, so let's keep going along and looking at plants. So if you wanted to know something about a pink, purple, or red plant, here it goes. I mean, we're just going to have so many species. There's so many crammed into this tank. All right, so we've got a bunch of crypts in here, which are always the low-lying plants that stay lower to the ground, like this one. We already mentioned the other one back here. These two are swords. But some of the other crypts, we have the metallic red. We have the Hoodori, which is the crinkled metal licorice candy looking ones. We have axelrod, undulata. Both of those can get darker, and they're kind of just hiding under places. We have a crypt lucens that's back in here, just getting nice and tall. And then we have a few other just oddballs. I think we've got a crypt nuri right in here that's kind of actually gotten too much light, and it kind of washes it out, which is a bummer because that can be a super beautiful one. Some of the nuris, which there are a few of, now hidden under other things. So time to definitely break this tank up and give all its residents the respect they are due. The other thing is what you're seeing a ton of. So we've got the Rotala, we've got ludwigia. So ludwigia is insanely insanely popular in the hobby. So between ludwigias, pogostemons, rotalas, and crypts, you got a lot of the plants in the hobby. And right here, you're mostly seeing ludwigia repens. You're seeing ludwigia rubens, perensis, or peruensis, I guess. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say it. It's a nice one that's really dark red. We got super red hidden back under there. Also, one just not to fool you is the Alternantheria renickii, which is not a ludwigia, obviously. But this is a really low light plant, and actually the two of these that are together are great choices for low light tanks. They actually have a hard time in highlight because they grow algae readily. And the same goes for the hydrocotyl verticillata, which is the little pennywort looking plant. It grows up like little toadstools. And that's a really popular plant right now in the hobby. It's just adorable. It looks like something out of Miyazaki illustrations or something. I don't know. But yeah, so moving on, we also have some of the ludwigia. Sorry about that. What is this one? The ludwigia. Rubens. So that usually has a little red to it, and then we've got a whole lot of ludwigia X leucostris, which looks kind of like this little guy. This is actually a different ludwigia, but it looks like that. But then, so you see the ninja stars. That's what I like to say they look like. little pinwheels of 4 that catch your eye on each level, but you'll see those, and then this red leaf while you get closer to the light. Down lower, it's kind of a brown, and you can get narrow leaf ludwigia, which is hidden back under here and in other places. Some of it is also back in here, but most of mine is broader leaf, red, super red, and senegalensis, which is a super colorful, bushy one back under here. That is just it deserves a tank on its own. That's part of the bummer of this tank. Now, speaking of deserving space for itself, I think this is an incredible plant, and it's Cabamba furcata, and not Cabamba caroliniatus or carolinius, but it has these little pink joints, yellow to peach stem, and then it's just got beautiful colors from all the way from like a feather duster of dark pink and purple maroon all the way down to green lime colors. And some of them, these are starting to close up because it's nighttime, but some of them are these bright lime green lower leaves, and then others are yellow, or they just fade down into this wonderful display, and they're kind of seen as a weed in a lot of the world, and I just think that they're gorgeous. They can grow pretty quick under the right conditions. They're also great in low light tanks, which is cool. A lot of these plants, I'll tell you right now, the Rotala wallachia, which right now it's starting to close up because it's nighttime, like I said, and you can see how purple it is, but it's another feather duster plant, as I like to say. This one that's not purple is not closing up yet because it was recently snipped, and there's some algae growing on it. So these plants, though, you can see they're still pearling from earlier in the day. The CO2's been off for 2 or 3 hours now. But you can see that it's a very delicate plant, and it's prone to algae, so you got to use a toothbrush to clean it, or, as I like to do, use shrimp. But I just want to show you, too, that when you get up nice and close to a lot of these plants, guys, there's going to be a little algae on them. There's going to be, like this one has a ton of algae on it. This is not satisfactory to me. But, this is normal, guys. It's a constant battle. When you step back, you don't see it, and you can get it away. But for me, if I can get my colors like this, and this is a-okay if I can get things to look like this, and just have the little teeny bit of algae, then we are good to go. So the other plants that I wanted to show you, this one is a little sneaky in that you legally can't own it. I can own it, but I can't buy or sell it. This one came in from a local plant auction. That's what it looks like to my eye. Came in, and it must have just been in with some of the other plants. So just like a milfoil or other plant that you can't have, Merophilium, and then that's also right next to an Nero Kalium, Vietnam. Nero Kalium, I don't know what species that is, but I've got 2 other ones that I got as unknown gifts someone handed me at an auction. But yeah, these are beautiful in that you've got the wonderful variegated leaves with just super intense pink, and then a nice green color in between. Sometimes you can actually get white versions of that, like down here. So I have both varieties, and as I said, it's just pure sheer coincidence and luck that those are in my tank. Most people would be unhappy with some of the things. I mean, clearly I have algae and other things in this tank too now, but some of the surprises you get can be good if you want them. It does grow quickly though, but that's a beautiful one, and that is a hygrophila or hygrophila, which, we've got the Aquarium bassa or augustifolia growing back in the far corner here, and it grows completely differently once it crests the water, which it's just done, and I can't even see the plant. But this is hygrophila or hygrophila Rosenvig polysperma sunset, or hygrophila sunset, whatever you want to call it. But Really beautiful plant. It can actually get even darker. Now, as we're looking, I just want to show you there's some normal Kabamba caroliniatus or carolineus back in the corner, and then you can see the furcata, which is from South America instead of the south of North America, which the other one's from. Now, going on down here, we have beautiful yaoyoi, sorry about that, Rotala. We also have Rotala mini butterfly and Rotala butterfly whirl, which actually has a chromosome defect and it spirals. Here we've got a really nice plant that I love too. This is meeboldii European pink, lagenandra meeboldii, and this alongside there's a barclay longifolia back here, which is a big red plant that'll grow huge. And really, I get these cuttings, or I'll get a piece this big. I'll ask someone if I can have it, or even a piece of what they bought. I'll say, hey, I'll give you $5 for just one clipping 2 inches or an inch of a plant, and I'll put it in this tank, which also has Amazonia light. Amazonia soil in it, which helps things grow. No root tabs or anything, but that's just how it goes in this tank. But I'll do that and really get things going. So that's why you'll see the meeboldii, lagenandra meeboldii pink European. That was from Han Aquatics. Really hard to find. You can find pink, you can find red, but the European is actually a different hybrid. So yeah. And we've got the red tiger lily. Some people call it red Tiger Lotus. The AR. We also have an AR mini. That's not for guns, you guys, if you're into guns. We have craniata Marcela, or Marcela craniata. I'm definitely saying that wrong. Growing over here with glosso, which looks like little versions of it growing down there. I guess I just jammed this thing full of plants. We'll go over the last little section of plants in here, other than there's some Christmas moss and some other moss. I guess there's a Java moss, Christmas moss, and flame moss growing in here. The flame moss is the stuff that's growing straight up, and the Christmas moss tends to grow in more of a triangle. All right, so then right here we have another rare, which is a world. This one is a sorry guys, I'm starting to mix my mind and words up. So we've got the Limnophilia, there we go. And then we have a pogostemon Kimberly. So that would be the pogostemons in this tank. I don't think we have any other pogostemons, but there's a lot of different names like pogostemon or ludwigia pentanal, crystal, Kimberly, and they're different plants, but keep an eye out for those. The other one I see all the time is hygrophila coriambosa and augustifolia. People switching up names, trying to get more money out of it. So just be aware of that. Hopefully you guys can save a buck and not get caught into that trap. Then also we have Limnophilia aromatica with the nice little delicate leaves, the purple underside. We have Limnophilia hippodroites, which actually has a chromosome defect that makes the purple flip upright, which I love. It's one of my favorites in this scape also. Then we have a world version of that, WH as world as in spun. And then we also have some mini Limnophilia aromatica in here as well. I'm sure I missed some stuff because we also have lagenandra meeboldii green. We have some ludwigia ex lacustris growing in here. We've got ludwigia ex purensis, I want to say. And then we've got crypt affinis red, the few nuries we talked about. And then we have obviously all the Rotala macrandras, the reds that are going around as they get darker and taller. So hopefully we touched on a good chunk of what you might have been curious about. And if you have any more questions, feel free to comment below. If you saw a plant that I misidentified, or maybe I was talking too fast, feel free to correct what I was saying. Just dropped something. Sorry, guys. And also a view of this tank from above. You can kind of see what's going on here. This all needs to be thinned out, trimmed out. It's a lot of the tank, and there's rocks under there that the Panda Loaches will be digging. Oh, we've also got Bucephalandra with the red stem. It says Bucephalandra brownie ghost. There's more of it hiding back down below everything, but it's just everything's grown over everything else. So when I get through with all this, I'm sure I'm gonna find all sorts of fish and shrimp and things like that that I had no idea I even had. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tour. Like I said, look at my other videos for the nano fish in here and the rare stuff. I hope you guys can track down some of this if you dig it. If you enjoy this channel and enjoy what I do and me speaking and sharing what's going on in the tanks, we'll do another video about how to care for this in more detail later. But please think about contributing to the Patreon fund. It's just $1 a month is all you need to start. You can do less, or I mean, you can do more if you want. But look at these fish. They're trying to stick with school, and they want to go to college. So that's their college fund, guys. I'm also trying to get to Aquashella, get better recording equipment so that I can show you the true colors, as Cyndi Lauper would say in my aquarium. Show your true colors. You can pay me to stop singing. Otherwise, maybe I'll sing every episode. That's another one. Yeah, pogostemon crystal, or pogostemon Kimberly. This is a mini butterfly again from above. Crenata, Marceliata, Crenata, and then all the Limnophilias kind of grouped together. So I hope that's kind of fun. Some of these things look just darn downright beautiful from above. The Rotala ludwigia here, and all the different other Rotalas and the hygrophilas. So, all right, guys, like, subscribe, and I'll stop the video now if that's okay with you guys. I bet you want me to. Okay, guys, thanks for checking out this tank with me, and just prepare to say goodbye to it. Cracky will stay, though. Cracky, who's fallen out way too many times. All right, guys, take care of your tanks. Take care of each other and the people around you, and it'll all come back in a great way in the long run for all of us. Have a good night, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Oh, and all the info's in the links and description below, of course.